look, I love this awakening that we're going through. And so now everybody's getting caught. Everybody's getting caught on AIPAC. Everybody's getting caught on all their donors, or it's begun at least. And what's going to happen eventually, guys, is the podcasters and the folks in online media are going to start to humiliate mainstream media. Because mainstream media never asks the politicians any tough questions. All they ever do is kiss their ass 24/7. So eventually it's going to get embarrassing. Then now when you look at like a cable news anchor, just to go, oh, Democrat, you're so great. Oh, Mr. Republican. They're going to get exposed, and I freaking love it. And so, by the way, of course, the politicians are going to get exposed too. That's what I mean by a revolution. So we got to get our country back, man. None of these politicians serve us. So. Now, two things we've been doing, this is day 5 or whatever it is of the revolution, I've lost track already, is that we're trying to work on things that unite the left and the right. And by the way, that's about at least 2/3 of the issues. So you think we're super divided, we all hate each other, we're about to go to civil war, etc. On which issues? 1/3 of the issues, yes. Almost all of them culture war issues. The other 2/3, almost all economic issues, we agree completely. Why don't you know that we all agree already? Because mainstream media lied to you and tried to divide you and tried to get you to hate one another. Because they are corporate media. They work for the corrupt corporations that are buying all of our corrupt politicians. So anyways, we're trying to find some good people and we're trying to push them in the right direction, even if they're not good people. So there's 2 things we're working on, trying to lower drug prices through this bill, HR 3493. So that's the idea of Democrats and Republicans calling it Conacare, because Ro Khanna originally came up with it, but there's more Republican sponsors than Democratic sponsors right now. Well, how come it's bipartisan? Because it's Trump's executive order, and Khanna took it verbatim and turned it into a bill. It's HR 3493, Global Fairness in Drug Prices Act. And what it does is it says we should pay the same prices other developed nations. There's no, the drug companies still make a ton of profit at that price. So why are we all purposely overpaying? Oh, right, because our politicians are dogs who work for big pharma, totally and utterly corrupt. So this could expose it because, hey, are you for Trump's executive order or aren't you if you're a Republican? If you're a Democrat, this is a policy you've been in favor of your whole life, or you claim to. You pretended to if you're a Democratic politician, so why wouldn't you sign on? So we reached out to a couple of congressional people. One of you suggested, hey, we should reach out to Representative Tim Burchett. He's very right wing. He was on Tucker Carlson's show the other day. At 2/3 of the time, I think he says things that are crazy and I don't agree with. And 1/3 of the time, I'm surprised that I agree with him, okay? Now, that he's not a regular person, he's a politician. That's why it's a little bit different. That's why it's inverted, right? With a regular Republican voter, I'll probably agree 2/3 of the time. Oh, and so will any Democrat if they ever get past like the culture wars and the mutual hatred, etc. So anyway, so one of you came up with the idea, well, let's reach out to him. So let's do it. So I'm gonna try something different on today's show. So there's Representative Tim Burchett's information. That's his phone, congressional office number. We're not doxing him. That's actually his political office that you're calling, and you, as a citizen, you should. His on Insta, he's Rep Tim Burchett with 2 T's. On X, he's at Tim Burchett with 2 T's, of course. And we're asking him to co-sponsor HR 3493. This should be a no-brainer for him. It's Trump's executive order, word for word. Where's the question? Where's the question? So you're not being impolite, you're being very polite. You're assuming that he's gonna join you. You're making him aware of the bill and that you care about it. If you're a Republican, even better, but it's okay if you're independent or Democrat. You could also reach out as long as you're polite, because we do everything in a way that is peaceful and nonviolent, but we are persistent. We are going to be maniacally persistent. No, we want you to serve us. We want you to, so do you want higher drug prices or don't you? Okay, that's what we're asking in mass, but when we ask individually, we're gonna ask politely to try to get the folks who are honest actors to join in the beginning and start to try to create some momentum. So, but the thing that I wanna do differently today is if we could all, like if someone comes up with an X post and an Instagram post about Tim Burchett reaching out to him, do it now, do it now. And Cara is in the chat, she's our community director. She will find it if you post it and we'll put it on air. And then we'll have everyone like it and share it. Now, why are we asking you to do it? Why don't we just do it? We could have done it before the show. Because I don't want you to repost my stuff or Young Turks stuff. I mean, that's great, God bless, I'm not against it, right? But this isn't about us. I want to crowdsource this thing. So one of you do it, and all of us will try to the best of our ability, push together, and then you'll get the likes and the shares, etc., on your account. I want all of you guys to do it as much as possible. You don't have to stop at Tim Burchett. And if it turns out you did another politician on another day, tomorrow, later tonight, etc., and that got a little bit, you did it in a clever way, you did it in a smart way, you did it in a way that worked, right? Then send it to us, and then we'll try to all again push together so that they notice. For example, Representative Mark Pocan, he's a good guy, Democrat, likely to like this idea, at least I think, right? And we know for a fact that over 400 of you already reached out to him, and obviously that got his attention. And so that's great, that's exactly what we want to do. So I also want to do it on the Gaza issue, but first, I want you guys, before I get to the Gaza one, no, actually, let me do the Gaza one too, and then I'll tell you where you can coordinate all of this stuff. Because I want you to work on it right now so that we can see if we can get it up on the air and push together. And I know I'm asking a lot of you guys, and there's a lot of people out there, so I'm hoping 1 or 3 or 18 of you can do some version of this. So on the Kids of Gaza, we had the idea of putting up the pictures, the bios, and so can we do, and I mentioned, well, we already know about Hind Rajab, right? So that's the 6-year-old that was murdered by the IDF in her car. All of her relatives in the car were already killed by the IDF. They told the IDF, no, there's a 6-year-old alive, please go get her, she needs to be rescued, and or we're sending an ambulance to go get her. The IDF killed everybody in the ambulance and her, right? Because they're sick terrorists. Anyway, so Jack Callahan, who's in the working group for Operation Hope, which this came out of, and this is Operation Hope just on a larger scale. Jack found a bio and a picture, etc. And as I'm saying this, Carl will start to put up those links, etc., from the past in the chat. And so you could see the bio, you could see the picture. Somebody make a post out of it. Make an Instagram post, an X post, TikTok, whatever you got, make a post out of it. Again, I don't want it to be us, I want it to be you guys. We'll take the first one that we think is good enough. And guys, don't get offended if we don't push yours. That hopefully there'll be, by the the middle of this thing, there'll be hundreds or thousands of submissions. If 999 of you catch feelings because we picked one and not the other 999, this will never work. Just root for each other and support each other as we do this, okay? So look, all of this is bold, and so it might turn out by the end of this, which is in about 20 minutes, we might have no social media posts. Or we all push together and it gets 17 likes. So what? So what? We'll do it again and again and again. So most people wouldn't do it. They say, oh, that's embarrassing. Oh no. Then your clout will diminish or something. I don't give a goddamn about my clout. I just want to get something done. Okay, and I want to get it done with you guys. Because if we're not working together, there's no chance we're gonna win. Okay? So now I'm gonna tell you about how you can coordinate on our website too. But before I do that, speaking of 20 minutes from now, I mean, this should unite the left and the right. We have a guy who's running against Nancy Pelosi. And it looks like he's got a fighter's chance. And it's not like he hasn't pulled off a political miracle like that before. So, and it is a very interesting story. And it appears, I think that Pelosi's are a little bit nervous about it. And it's starting to show up in the press. Imagine if one of us defeated Nancy Pelosi. Again, I don't know what could unite progressives who are super frustrated with Pelosi, who's totally corporate and has killed all of Democratic policies while pretending to fight for them. She's buried them in her basement. And certainly my guess is Republicans and right wing would also be quite happy if Nancy Pelosi wasn't in office anymore. So we're gonna talk to him, like I said, in about 20 minutes. Make sure you're checking out that interview. Okay, so guys, you can coordinate in 2 different ways. One is tyt.com/ideas. So that's where we set up a little bit of a forum, a chat group, etc. Now, why are we doing that? Because if you just send it in your ideas to us, by the way, hold on, let me just pause there for a second. So one of the things we're doing is we're taking some of the clear ideas, and especially if they've gotten likes, we're looking at, to elevate the ones that more people gravitate to, we're putting them at the top. That's why in that screen, you're seeing some of those bullet points. You see with the blue, there you go, exactly, and white. Those are the ideas from the chat down below that got filtered up. So participate, hopefully your idea will be filtered up, and other people can then chime in. And hopefully we can craft ideas and make them better and better as we go, right? And we've already received a ton of ideas. Again, don't catch feelings if we're not doing yours. I love you, keep participating, okay? And so, now, on the other hand, some of you are talking about doing exactly what I asked you, which is crowdsourcing, in this case, a website for kidsofgaza.com, where we put up the pictures of the dead children. So people, if you're gonna fund Israel, and you're gonna keep sending them billions and billions of our money, at least have the decency to look at the kids that they've killed and go, I'm okay, I'm good with it. Oh, 20,000 dead children? Oh, he was playing soccer and that's when Israel dropped a bomb and blew his head off. Oh yeah, I'm good with it. Send more of my money. Here, I'll go do an extra shift, right? But at least look at them. So that's what we're trying to get the country to do, and especially our politicians and our media. So the voters are good people. The Republicans have already flipped on Israel, and Democrats are at 92-8. Isn't it amazing? I mean, that's why we call this a revolution. So 92% of Democratic voters say that Israel's wrong on Gaza. And 92% of their politicians say the exact opposite. And they're like, oh, 9 out of 10 Democratic voters want us to care about the Palestinians? Not only do we not care about the Palestinians, we don't care about our voters. We don't care about over 90% of our voters. You can go to hell, because I'm getting money from AIPAC. I'm getting money from the Israeli lobby. So screw my voters is what almost all the Democrats are saying. 9 out of 10, not all of them. Bernie and others are, Ro Khanna, et cetera, are great. But 90% of Democrats are totally corrupt, and they work for Israel. They don't work for America. And by the way, if you're a Republican, don't get smug on me. Almost 100% of your politicians, no, 95%. Now because of Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tom Massey. And we always give credit where it's due. I don't care if it's Tom Massey's a Republican. If he's doing the right thing, I'm gonna give him all the credit in the world, okay? And I don't care if you're, and if you catch feelings, oh, well, I like a Republican politician, I like a Democratic politician. I heard on MSNBC, I heard on Fox News that they're so great. I love the way they do the culture wars. All right, if you're gonna catch feelings when I call them corrupt and prove that they're corrupt, then this is not gonna be for you, right? This is for people who realize that the media and the politicians have been lying to you the whole time, okay? If you're still a knucklehead that's super naive, and you're like, well, I don't know, Rachel Maddow and Sean Hannity told me that the politicians are super honest on my side, and the real problem is the other side. Oh, really? Then why aren't the politicians on the Republican side negotiating drug prices for you? Why aren't they banning private equity from buying up our homes? They know that's what's driving up our housing prices. Why aren't any of them for higher minimum wage? And don't tell me Democrats are for higher minimum wage. Joe Biden took it out of the first bill. He's totally, utterly corrupt, totally worked for the donor class, or as Nina Turner calls them, the owner donors. Okay, so I'm gonna read some of your comments in a second. Oh, great. So YouTube is having site-wide issues. So yeah, it happens, brothers. So today, it's not usually it's our issue, right? Usually we have technical problems, but in this case, mighty YouTube is having YouTube problems. That's okay, we have comments of folks who have already written in, and I wanna share those with you guys. Embedded Dude writes in, I already told Adam Schiff personally that I'll never vote for him as long as he takes AIPAC money. Well, you should all say that to every politician. And of course, Adam Schiff takes AIPAC money. Adam Schiff bathes in AIPAC money. Adam Schiff wakes up in the morning kissing AIPAC's left cheek. He goes to bed at night kissing their right cheek. So I got no use for Adam Schiff. We have another pledge if you'd like to sign in. tyyt.com/no more. And what that is it's a pledge to never vote for a politician that takes money from the Israeli lobby. And so And again, you could vote in your own primaries. You don't have to vote for the other side, okay? So that's another fact that mainstream media keeps from you. Oh, primaries, they're so bad, they divide the party. The reality is, in a primary, you might actually get to pick someone who represents you. That's why mainstream media despises primaries. No, that's where democracy still lives a little bit. Everybody shut up. Oh, it's bad. Bad for unity. Bad, bad. Oh, now you have two terrible choices. We got you. Now you got to make the lesser of two evils choices, both sides. They should have voted in the primary, but they didn't because we tricked them. Yeah, we're on to you. We're on to you. All right, Cicero wrote in, hey, regarding the suggestion to create flyers with a QR code, I went ahead and wrote this up. Please feel free to use it. America's political class are very devoted to Israel. We've given, and that current, he put in a blank, but you could fill it in, have given $310 billion to fund Israel's military. We've also spent $8 trillion on our own military since 2001, which we have mainly used to fight wars on behalf of Israel. So look, that's his version. You could write your own version. 8 trillion is the global war on terror. We've spent more on our military than that. That's just all the money we wasted fighting the war on terror. Okay, so and is it all on behalf of Israel? No, it's not all on behalf of Israel. Is some of it on behalf of Israel? Yeah, of course. Oh, look, there's a dirty Muslim terrorist. I want his land. I mean, I'm so worried about that he's going to attack Israel. I mean, America. America, go attack him. America, go attack him. Go attack him. Go attack him. So does that happen? Yes, it happens. Does it happen every time? No. The world is complicated, and there's a lot of different reasons. In Iraq, did oil companies and defense contractors make a killing, literally? Yes, yes. Did they push for a war? Yes. Did you see that in mainstream media? No, because all the mainstream media lied to you and pretended nothing to do with money, nothing to do with the donors. No, we're worried about their weapons of mass destruction. Wink. We're worried that they attacked us on, but all the reporters knew they didn't attack us on 9/11. In fact, they all knew that Saddam Hussein had hated Al-Qaeda and killed Al-Qaeda, but they lied to you. They all lied to you. They always lied to you. So I'm sick of them. I can't stand them. All right, guys, this is all collaborative. So sometimes you'll see a message you don't love, then you don't have to push that one. And you want to change the words, change the words. Every part of this is optional, okay? So now we're gonna go to, more from Cicero. Americans can't afford rent or health insurance and live paycheck to paycheck. Our cities are overrun by the homeless. And again, I wouldn't phrase it that way, but I get it. And our government is already now X in debt. And we're up to 37 trillion, but Trump just added 4 trillion more, but that's over a period of time. Anyway, more than our GDP, yet we continue to bear Israel's burden in the name of fighting terrorism, even as they've indiscriminately bombed a crowded urban population in Gaza, put aid sites in active combat zones during a famine, and even shot children in the head. All of that is true. There were a number of children living in Gaza at the beginning of Israel's campaign, and we've heard many of their stories. Enter the link below or scan the QR code to learn their fate, and then you have the QR code for kidsofgaza.com. That's a beginning, that's a beginning. So again, let's craft all these, let's mold these, let's get the QR codes, let's begin. If you're gonna crowdsource the website, I think I forgot to finish that thought. So this is really important, guys. A bunch of you volunteered and have already even started crowdsourcing the website for kidsofgaza.com. But we gotta work with you guys because we have kidsofgaza.com. So if you're one of the people who are crowdsourcing that or setting that up in any way, make sure you're emailing hope@tyt.com, hope@tyt.com, so that we can coordinate with you guys and we can put the things you're building on that actual URL, okay? So that's where you're gonna need the coordination. All right, let's go to Maritza. No, Raven Moon first, second idea. For the revolution, help army people get paid. I saw the saddest thing today. Army people in line at food banks to get food. Johnson has the power to pass this law now and refuses. Of course he does. Mike Johnson is 100% owned by the donors. He's never gonna help you, never. All he's ever gonna do is help his donors. Same is true of Hakeem Jeffries, the leader of the Democrats in the House. So that's why Charlemagne calls him AIPAC Shakur, because Hakeem Jeffries works for AIPAC. He's got nearly $2 million from him. And we say, hey, he got $2 million. So normally, a normal human being, especially a politician version of a human being, will care a lot about $2 million and will probably serve the person who gave him $2 million. The media goes, not only is that not true, because he's an angel, and all these politicians are angels, so they're not affected by the millions of dollars. But on top of that, you're a hateful bigot for pointing out that fact. It is a fact, but you're not allowed to say, shut up, you anti-Semite. That's a trope, okay? That's what our media says, to hide Israel's influence on our politicians, but also to hide big pharma, big oil, instead of all of their influence. Our media, instead of exposing it, hides it. Don't look. Why are we doing drill baby drill, all this drilling? Okay, you like drilling? You think we're not keeping the oil. I don't want to get into a debate on that issue, but guys, we're doing, so we forget that debate. This one we could all agree on. Why are we giving them $35 billion in subsidies? That's 10 times what Israel gets. Why does ExxonMobil, one of the most profitable companies in the history of the world, need you to work an extra shift so their son of a bitch executives can get paid more? Why? Go ahead, mainstream media. Find me one anchor that can justify the $35 billion in oil subsidies. Okay, then why don't you ever talk about it? Because you want to cover up for the corrupt donors. They are not doing news. They are doing propaganda to try to blind you to the reality that almost all of our politicians are deeply corrupt. Let's go, let's do a peaceful revolution. Let's do a democratic revolution. All right, so in that case, look, I love the idea of helping veterans and seeing them in the streets and not get cared for breaks my heart. Oh, go fight all these stupid wars for all the stupid donors, and then when you come here, we'll betray you. Oh, well, we ran out of money. We gave it all to ExxonMobil. We gave it to Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson. Sorry, we ran out. Oh, hey, look, just when we got to the American people, we ran out of money, okay? So, all right, Maritza writes in with a third idea. Love what you guys are doing with Operation Hope, and I want to be involved. You guys are charismatic, eloquent, animated, and I really believe you can compel Americans to act and make change. I'm tired of watching videos and just getting angry. I want to do something, and I'm sure others do too. Thank you for leading this. Thank you so much for writing that in, but she continues. I have a suggestion. While on video, use the screen behind you to post a website and email details. Consider it a classroom where notes are on the screen. Remember that people have a short memory. They're multitasking, et cetera, et cetera. Make it easy for us to carry out things. I've previously seen Fox News do this really well. Lots of notes on screen and visuals to create an emotional response for their viewers. Okay, before I get to our next suggestion, look guys, we put up the graphics for you guys every once in a while. I'll do more and more as we go along. I used to do the first hour of the show alone. And when I did that, I would have a lot of graphs and explain how the money corrupts and how what you can do to make a difference. And guys, remember, look, you might not like, if you're on the right or you're independent, maybe you don't like the squad. That's AOC and the rest of them, right? And these days, I think they do way too much culture war, so I got my issues with them too, okay? But we already pulled off one miracle. This is the show where Just Democrats was launched. I'm one of the co-founders. I named it. And we put 11 people in Congress when everybody thought there'd be 0. So if you think we can't get something done here, well, that's just factually and empirically incorrect. And is it us? No, it's always you guys. If you didn't give the money and you didn't volunteer, none of that would have happened. So in that particular case, and not the money to us, but to those candidates. So candidates are for a different day though. Let's keep going with Maritza's suggestions. Another suggestion, you really need a presence on Reddit. Please post your videos and consider having a separate subreddit there. Get interns to help with all the minutia and tech. Reddit users will see the content and will share it, comment on it, and hopefully will spread the message, maybe even outside the Reddit world. Okay, so look, on Reddit, it's a funny story from I think over a decade ago, we got banned there. We get banned everywhere. And we just keep popping back up. We're back. To be fair, I think back then we were doing promotional stuff, so they're probably right to ban us. But that might have been like 15 years ago. It was a long time ago, right? Most honest show in America. But guys, we're probably back. We could probably get back on there. But again, I want you to do it. I want to give you the credit. I want to unleash your creativity, your vision, et cetera. So if you're on Reddit, please do a Reddit, do a subreddit, do whatever they do on Reddit, okay? And okay, now a bigger idea for all of us together, okay? So guys, if you like a portion of this, or you like some other video you saw or another host that you saw on another show, having nothing to do with TYT, but it's about something that unites us. It's about something that exposes the corruption, the money in politics, or drug prices, or kids of Gaza. Make a clip out of it, put it on social media, put it on Reddit, and then tell us about it. And again, on the next show, we'll try to push together, right? And see if we can get your stuff to take off. Okay, more ACES kind of dragon rights in. What we need to do is start taking all the money that we're giving overseas and all the money that we're wasting in the Pentagon and give it back to the people. There should be universal income for every citizen. It's gotten too expensive. We can't afford it anymore. We need to take our money back. Look, brother, I can't agree more with taking our money back. They waste all of our money. I mean, look, again, I don't want to get into divisions, but Doge, what happened? I thought you were going to cut the Pentagon by $100 billion. Instead, you added $150 billion. Added $150 billion to the most bloated department in the whole country. You're getting rid of the Department of Education. I'm not going to debate that. That's for when I do the show. When I do the show, I'll give you my political opinions, etc., ideological opinions. But you're going to get rid of the Department of Education to save money, and then you're going to take all that money times 10 and then give it to the Pentagon on top of already the gigantic budget they have. Nah, it's just pork barrel, man. They're just robbing. This is the great American robbery. They're robbing us blind over and over again. Don't stand for it. All right, so guys, I'm about to run out of time. Let me see if I can squeeze in one last one. Corey Schiffauer writes in, Jake, my name is Corey. My YouTube name is Project for Progress. I came on one of the Operation Hope episodes a while back, and I mentioned wanting to have a visible tracker that correlates voting records with the campaign contributions. You told me it was a dream of yours to make a database like that. I've looked into it and started trying to make one. It's possible through AI agents such as Replit, but the problem is in addition to the monthly subscription, it keeps stacking up charges for how long the agent works and how difficult the task is based on what I could find. It would probably cost a couple of $1,000s to be able to initiate the full database. It did give me a sample with a little bit I paid, and it looked awesome. Wondering if you could read this and see if anybody else knows a better or cheaper way to do this. Maybe we could reach out to local areas where congressmen are from and put on a billboard how much money a congressman has taken from a certain lobby, for example. Not sure how feasible any of this is, but I wanted to try to help. I'm willing to put money into this. I just don't think I can do it alone. You're the voice of the country. Thank you for starting this. We will win. So I don't know about me being the voice, but I love you. I appreciate that you're looking into it and you're working, and I agree, we will win. So look, guys, do I know how to create a website that tracks all the politicians, the money that they take from their donors? And what I would love as a second part of that website is then how do they vote? And what you're gonna see is it's gonna match nearly 100%. They take money from a lobby, they vote with that lobby. If we could do that whole database, people are gonna look at it and be like, holy cow, they vote with their donors 98% of the time. And the gigantic liars on television tell me that the money doesn't influence them. Come on. So one of these days I'm gonna show up here. We're super early days, right? We just got started. This is, like I said, day 5 or 6, whatever we're on. The video, the title will tell you, and then you go all laugh because I got the wrong date. Anyway, but one day I'm gonna come on air and I'm gonna say, you know how I asked you guys to do this website or that website or the Instagram or the this or that? And here it is. It turns out Sally in Missouri, who's been working this whole time and created this thing. Oh my God, it's amazing, right? We hope. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep hope alive, okay? This is Operation Hope, and we're gonna try to bring our democracy back. All right, next is an interview, stay right here. 2 things actually. One is Operation Hope, the original working group there is on right now. You can go to tyt.com/hope and get the link there. Join them, because they're gonna try, if you're trying to work on these projects, they're gonna try to help you and begin to organize to take specific actions. So go join that group if you can, tyt.com/hope. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern they meet, and I join them once a month. And then, but for everyone else, stay here. We have another public episode, this time it's an interview with the person who has a real shot at beating Nancy Pelosi in San Francisco. So let's do that when we return. every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.